A nice boom, I guess.
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Episode 331 SND Podcast Show. We are live on all social media apps, the Twitch, the YouTube, the Facebook.
All three.
All three. The three that we want.
Correct.
Well, we kind of talked about this offline. Instagram Live would be so great. I really don't get it. Like, doesn't Zuckerberg own both of them?
I stopped trying to figure out what that man does.
Like, dude, why am I allowed to post things on Instagram but they look like shit on Facebook? Like, bro,
And then
created a where is what's his name who played Mark Zuckerberg? We need that guy.
who played Mark Zuckerberg?
Who is the?
You just want the actor?
Yeah, just the actor. That guy.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Listen, that guy went from creating Facebook to taking over the world and shaving his head. So
Those movies don't count anymore because the DC people have absolutely no idea what they're doing.
it's pretty funny. And they spent $1 million to film an entire movie, and they canceled it because they had to do reshoots.
They spent $90 million. And now they have to reshoot everything they did with Keaton as Batman because he's just out. Like, because he was going to be an Aquaman. They're like, nope, bailing on that one.
No, Affleck is in Aquaman.
I know. It was going to be Keaton. They had filmed stuff with Keaton already. And I was like,
I didn't know it was going to be Keaton.
It was going to be, yeah, I think it was.
I mean, I don't blame him because look at what. I mean, what? Ezra Miller is like in prison every day.
And yet, okay. This is completely off topic.
Danny, if you didn't hear, he got arrested again.
Talk about. They're still going. I think they're still going ahead with this movie. It has to be fantastic.
If it doesn't click, this movie, they're in trouble.
But I'm saying, like, they have to have watched it and go, this movie is so good, he can just keep breaking the law and it doesn't matter. We're going to go forward with it. I don't know.
That's got to be the only explanation. Because why else?
What time would you get to City Fields for a bobblehead giveaway? We can answer this question. Steven and I did this.
Now.
I
leave
was.
now. Oh.
Yeah.
I was.
So before you answer that question.
Now.
Dad and I went to the game Tuesday and we parked in the lot and we were talking to Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And he informed us that last Saturday was the biggest disaster in history of history.
That's what I heard.
The first game ended at 4:30. What were they going to do? Like
they couldn't get cars out of the lot
because people were coming
in because people were trying to get into the other lot, get into the lots just so they can get a line for the bobbleheads.
They showed a shot of the main stadium, like the main stadium lot. But during the second game,
right,
people were still coming in, and it was empty because no one could get in.
Yeah,
it was absolute. That was a whole absolute madness. That was a terrible day-night doubleheader idea.
Yeah, that was a fumble.
At least the bobblehead. Like it would have been nuts if it was the, if it was just like a single game, a Jake or just Jake, no bobblehead. But like the fact that you added Jake and a bobblehead,
forget it,
to a doubleheader.
But I don't know. I people like Danny said, you know, you get online now, and like that is kind of the joke. Steve and I only waited online, which for a game to get in is a long time, but we waited online for an hour. For we got there,
we got there and then went to stand online at like 1:15 for I think it was like a 4:10.
Yeah. And they opened right. We got online at 1:15.
It was like 2:10 that they opened the thing.
2:10 they opened the gate. So it was like an hour, but I mean it just depends.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it's Ron Darling bobblehead, right?
Yes, it is his
It is the second of the three.
Yes.
Correct.
Wes, is this your first Met game ever? At Citi Field, I should say. There's a lot of good food, so you'll enjoy all that.
Yeah.
I recommend the steak sandwich if you don't want to do any of the fancier key name spots. Pat LaFrieda's steak sandwich would be my way to go.
You know, I've never had one of those. I always see it, and it's just
good.
Maybe
that'd
be my choice next time.
A buddy of mine had it last night, Tuesday, and when I saw him, so I saw him upstairs, and he was sitting at one of the tables behind home plate, one of those little sitting areas to eat it. He was the person who ordered it, and they're like, "Oh, give us a couple minutes, we'll give it to you." He waited 15 minutes to get it.
It's rough.
I don't know.
So people are aware.
I mean, I never had that issue, so I guess I've gone to the right times. But
I guess like my guess is the later in the day the later in the game they just stopped making them as often. Like
probably
it's like when we got in there yesterday, it was like 5:30ish, and I saw them. They were like putting the cheese on a bunch of them already.
Right.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful with that. I guess I'll be careful, but like I had that. I don't know if you guys had the amazing chicken. I had it
I haven't had the amazing chicken yet
in May, but I ate it. I got it as soon as I walked in. It was clear that it had been cooked, like a half hour ago, and it was like cold. It wasn't great. I mean the food was fine, but wasn't as good as everybody had been saying it was.
And the steak fries were good too. Me and Nicole went all out that night.
Okay.
So
I
didn't have a problem. Mine was it literally came out perfectly for us. So
it was like the perfect problem for me when we got there. My dad goes, "I don't know about you, but I'm craving Shake Shack." So,
okay, there you go.
Sucked one up, and
line couldn't have been that bad.
There was nobody there.
Yeah.
There was no line. Literally, we got
and
there.
And they added the whole blue smoke, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, it depends on the game. We were also, again, there early enough against the Reds. It kind of helped with the crowd there, but
right.
To Vin's aunt's point, or uncle, whoever's writing, whoever's watching, Citi Field's actually pretty good when it comes to staff. Especially in the concessions. I haven't seen any issues when it comes to short staff. There's other things I've noticed lesser staff. Like I walked into the upstairs convenience the shop yesterday, and there was like 7 people standing by the registers, 4 people inside to help, 2 security guards, and I'm just like, I guess there's nowhere else that you're needed.
I guess that was it. The main store.
It was the one behind home plate, upper deck.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't noticed. Maybe a little bit. This I did get ice cream. Well, I went to the ice cream line and got waters, and it was a little short staff with that, but it didn't seem too bad. We're talking about food, and it amazed me. We were all. It was the bottom of the 9th. This is Sunday. I went bottom of the 9th. Everybody standing
Saturday.
up. What?
You went Sunday also?
No, I only went Saturday.
Sunday.
I mean Sunday. Saturday was doubleheader.
Spit it out. Which day? Sunday.
Which day did you go?
I went Sunday.
Okay.
I went Sunday. The doubleheaders were Saturday. I didn't go. So it's the end of the game. Diaz is doing his thing. There's probably 2 outs. A guy walks by me, full hot chicken fingers and fries. They're still serving food at the 9th inning when there's 2 outs. What are we doing here?
That guy was waiting there for 20 minutes.
I was like,
that's the guy who ordered it in the first inning on his phone, like you did that one game, and got the alert.
he walked down right past me, and I turned to Lauren and I went, "Why is he? Does he know the game is ending? Like he can go get food somewhere else. It's significantly better than the chicken fingers are going to be here."
And cheaper.
Yeah, it was just one of the
He
more
could have
bizarre.
had 2 plates of chicken tenders and
Yeah,
fries for
he
half
could
the
have went
price.
to fucking I don't know from I was going to say
Applebee's.
Friendly's. Yeah, Applebee's.
With
Whatever.
Applebee's. And
Yeah, we
paid
go to the
half
Applebee's
price.
all the time.
So
Anyway, don't even know how we got from Michael Keaton to food, but
I'll also say this.
Wes said.
Wes,
Wes
right?
was
Shout out
yesterday.
Wes.
The other thing is I had the hot chicken. One that's over by not the
Nas.
is that what it was? I don't remember what it was. What it was called. But it's where they have the chicken and fries.
Selling food later. There you go. Sweet Chick.
Is it the Sweet Chick?
Is that it's in right field?
Yeah, behind the stands and all that on the bottom. I had the buffalo chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Hottest hot sauce I've ever had in my life.
Nice.
Really?
And I'm thinking and when I had this and I was at not that Friday game, the one I went to Scherzer pitched in the Friday night black jersey, DJ Razor was doing the thing in the outfield. I had that. I took 2 bites of that thing. Yeah, I took 2 bites of it and I stopped because I'm like, it's 1,000 degrees outside and I'm burning on the inside now too.
I had a similar experience with a chicken sandwich from Fuku. That was it's like
I like Fuku.
The Fuku one's not too bad.
I don't know why.
It's got like a little sweet.
It was on fire and it was like undercooked. It was just a terrible chicken sandwich.
It was like it's like a spicy chicken. That's what the Fuku one. This one had like buffalo hot sauce on it, and it was like devoured in it. Yeah. And like I was sweating after taking 2 bites. I was like, I've already been sweating all day, and I don't want to continue to do this.
Yeah.
No, so, thanks. Even though that's the same place I got that ice cream sandwich from, so Danny, you go back. They have maple syrup ice cream sandwiches.
No.
No.
Danny, come on.
Nah, I don't like maple syrup that much to get at ice cream.
I'm not good. I'm not like a crazy syrup guy, but that ice cream sandwich was actually pretty.
I think
pretty
you're
awesome.
a crazy syrup guy, Steve.
What?
I think you're like Buddy the Elf. You just put syrup on everything.
You just pour syrup.
Yeah, spaghetti, cereal, everything.
Just put it on there.
It can't be bad. Here, it's just sugar.
All right. Speaking of sugar, did you guys hear at the end of the game the other day? Monday night, they're talking about the milkshakes with the crazy kid. Now we gotta go into this topic. So
absolutely,
the kid was going nuts in front of his mother, like attacking her, and it was like the 8th
in the stands.
In the stands, and they kept putting the camera on this kid, like going nuts. Like, but it wasn't like a bad attack. It was like screaming in her face type of attack. Like, and the lady.
Speaking of that, we haven't brought up that you guys were on the final out of the Subway series.
We'll get there. We
can get there. I'm gonna pull the clip up as you're talking.
But so they're showing this kid, and Gary's like, well, so you guys know I'm friends with Russ Welk and one of the producers on SNY on the games. Family friends. His oldest daughter was in my sister's bridal party, blah, blah, blah. He had the night off because it was one of the younger daughter's birthday and all the 9 yards. So they did a family day at the game. And he brought them milkshakes. And they started going into the conversation about milkshakes and their sugar. And this kid probably had one too because he's going nuts. So Keith goes to Gary and goes,
did he know what a milkshake was?
No, he knew. He's not.
Because he didn't know what a peanut butter and jelly was.
He's Keith Hernandez. So that's
he
another
topic.
What peanut butter and jelly was. The video today about how Wayne Randazzo doesn't like peanut butter and how he went on a whole rant about how he's American. Anyway. Yeah.
This is what they talk about when it's 10-2.
No, I think it was like 6-2 at 6-0 at this point. But anyway, so they asked him, right? So Keith goes to Gary and goes, "What's your thoughts on strawberry milkshakes?" And Gary, I forgot what he says, but Keith goes, "Excuse me, I asked you a specific question." Like, seriously. Like, I'm just like, wow. It's like, yep, I asked you a question. You were supposed to answer it, sir.
Keith Hernandez.
And then Keith goes, and then Keith Hernandez goes, Well, my favorite actually is banana shakes.
Keith Hernandez also said yesterday that the Phillies are so fundamentally bad
That was so
in their
funny.
baseball that he doesn't want to watch the game. That he doesn't. He told the SNY to not
SNY.
put him on because they're so bad fundamentally that it pains him to watch them.
It's actually pretty funny.
Nothing shocks me with Keith Hernandez.
But like, are they that? Was Didi that bad of a shortstop? Is Nick Castellanos that bad in right field that you can't?
He's
watch
everything
them?
we've ever wanted as a play-by-play guy growing up, though.
Such a pain in the butt.
He is literally everything we ever wanted.
He sure is entertaining. I will say that.
By the way, they are down 2-0, the Phillies, right now.
I know, I'm watching it right now.
Noah on the mound.
We miss him again.
All right, I'm gonna bring this up.
We probably play them a bunch in September, right?
No, we're done.
No, we're not done.
We're basically done. We have
we
like
play
one
them
more series. We'll play them this weekend and then one more.
This weekend and then one more after that. Yeah, I think.
We're basically done.
Yeah, they played them like 12 times already.
Yeah,
That's
Beat the
insane.
shit out of them.
Good. Let's just keep playing the Nationals in the season.
Oh, I mean, you want to pull this up? Hold on.
The Wheelers pitching Saturday. Sunday.
No, it's
next
Saturday.
week.
Wheelers pitching Sunday.
Correct.
That's next weekend, not this weekend.
No, this week.
Wheelers pitching Sunday this weekend. Noah's pitching Monday. But if they don't get like a rest, I'm looking at their schedule. Saturday the 20th, the 19th, 20th.
Right, we go there.
2 games on the 20th, and then the 21st, Wheeler's going to face Carrasco, and it will probably be Noah versus Walker in the night game that day.
I kind of
because Wheeler pitched yesterday, so if they're going to keep it and not have a secondary pitcher or whatever, or Sunday will be that matchup of Peterson and Noah.
Well,
next weekend in Philly.
Peterson's going to pitch the Saturday game. They already said that. The second one of the
okay. So Noah's going to pitch either Saturday night or Sunday against Peterson or Walker. That's basically what it's coming down to. So he's going to pitch one of the 4 next weekend.
Okay, whatever.
We were talking about
because they also set up. They said if the Mets don't have like a rain out or anything, it lines up that it's Monday, Tuesday in the Bronx.
Right, Max, Jake, Monday, Tuesday in the Bronx.
So,
Danny did mention this. I just want to share it because it was funny.
And it was the second to last time.
This is right here. Rizzo.
The second to last out. Yeah.
Pointing. I'm punching him out. Steven got excited. We'll run it again.
Lauren was there too.
Lauren was just there. This guy in front of us, Steven and I were talking to him the whole game. Great guy. He was pumped. There was some Yankee
he knew. He really didn't know a lot of things.
He knew some things and then he didn't know other things.
Are you shocked?
He went very back and forth about what he knew and what he didn't know.
Okay, so Friday night, right? I'm at the game. I'm standing in like the last row of 401, basically against the gate, right? If like I went any further out, I would have fallen over and been on the Coke corner. This couple shows up halfway through the first inning. It's already a disaster. And you can clearly tell it's definitely a first date because her reaction to him going, "Oh, these are our seats," was, "This is where we're sitting."
Oh no!
Then on top of it, right?
And it's 4-0 in the first inning already.
Right now, on top of it, all right, cool. He turns around and he kind of asks me what happened, what did he miss? Okay, fine, that's fine. I understand. I get it. Showed up a little bit late. You may have been waiting online, maybe getting.
You have a phone though. You can look it up yourself.
Right, 100%. He also saw me taking with the scorebook, so he kind of like.
Okay, sure. He
thought it was cool. He gave me a little like. He's like, keeping score. That's awesome, type of thing. Whatever.
Okay, great.
Now they're between, and he's like talking to her, and I'm noticing it, and he's like pointing at things. He turns to me and goes, "Where was Shea Stadium?"
Okay, I mean that's.
And I'm like, and he's like, he's pointing at different spots about where Shea Stadium was. He turned around and pointed at where the disaster shops was, and goes, "I think it was there." And then asks me, "Where was Shea Stadium?" And I was like, guy.
I mean, I don't expect everybody to know where it was. It was.
But if you're
behind-
explaining to her where it is, don't point
Sure.
at different directions and then expect me to lie for you. I'm gonna be
The
like,
other-
no, it's over there.
The other thing is you could just point, and you'd almost always be right because unless
Yeah.
you're pointing to the outfield,
But he was,
it was just that way.
but he was
It
pointing behind Coca-Cola Corner.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's just stupid. And then like he went to go get a drink. Nice guy, again, really nice guy. Offered to go get me a water, offered to get me a drink when he was going to get drinks for the two of them. Nice guy. And she literally is sitting there, and she turns to me and she's like, "If you stand there all game, he's gonna bother you." And I'm just like,
seems to know enough that it wasn't a first date, though. Or does she?
I'm guessing she just assumed it was going to be a disaster of him asking me questions because he kept asking me questions.
Did you move?
After that, so I wanted to hit that inning. It pissed me off because the entire Coke corner went nuts because Pete Alonso hit a home run, and then I'm looking in the infield,
And
wondering where the apple is and watching the Braves celebrate. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then he caught it. And then that's when I started walking away, and I went and I met up with Dwight and his brother, and we kind of hung out the rest of the day, kind of in the middle. We ended up in the Piazza Club for most of the game. Fun fact,
Right.
new, I don't know if it's this year, new, but the 400 level gets both the Promenade Club, the 400 seats, get both the Promenade Club and the 300 Club now.
That's interesting. Because I used to be if you didn't, you had to have seats like in the 300s or below to get access to that club. Yeah,
right. And it was always the Promenade Club was only the 400 seats.
Well, I think
the 500 seats never had access to that club. When we had our tickets, we never had access to that club in the 500s. And then when we stopped getting tickets and the Smiths moved their seats to the 400s, we found out their seats were always getting it. And then like the year before COVID, I noticed the 500s got that club too.
That's good. I mean, it's just whatever.
It makes sense though. If you have those upstairs seats, you should be allowed in that club.
Right.
And there's nothing in that club anyway for you to be like.
It's just a nice area.
Right.
So Tuesday, I showed you guys the rain. It was raining, and it stopped, and then they actually made it. And we went up to our seats. We cleaned them off, and then we're sitting there, and then he kind of gave us Springsteen at MetLife vibes. They made the announcement, please move to covered area and away from the seats.
Right. It's that time of year.
So we were walking and we're like, okay, which way is this rain going to go? Because we couldn't find seats when it was raining to not get hit by the rain. It was going like it was like Forrest Gump. It was coming all over the place. And we saw all the people in that upper deck crowding into that little club. So I was like, why don't we just walk down 2 things of steps and just go into the bigger club, even if we're just standing against the wall.
Right. You could usually find a couch or something in there or whatever.
We were against the glass for a little bit, and then a couple people got up, and he sat down. I sat on the ledge of the chair, so it was fine. It was crowded, but like still like much more room than the Promenade Club would have been.
Definitely.
But I did bring this up, and I got a little bored when I got home today. I've been doing this fall asleep thing when I get home. And it's really ruining the rest of.
Oh, that's called a nap.
Yes, but it's really, really ruining like all the other ones because like I'll nap for like 4 hours and then I'm up.
I mean, that's just sleep. I don't know. There's a time frame. Nap. There's a time frame on naps.
So
God.
So this is all of the records of our lifetime.
Ever.
Yeah. So Danny was born in 87.
Jesus
right?
Christ.
So 87 through...
Can you make it bigger? I can't even see it.
You know, you didn't have to type this out. It's on a website.
Yeah, it's called Baseball Reference.
Yeah, you could just go to Baseball Reference.
Yeah, but like that had like all this extra shit that nobody needed. So I just kind of did it this way. So basically, I was thinking about it, and you know, it came to my mind when Danny said, "Yay, fun podcast tonight," right?
Okay.
Because I was thinking, like, we've never had a year that it was like this. And I even started thinking, even after Danny,
Closest was 06.
right, the best year we ever had in our lifetime is 06, and they still never won 100 games in 06.
Right.
No, but okay, so I'm gonna.
Well, for us, technically 88, but
Yeah,
we
but that
weren't
again,
cognizant of it.
correct.
I was around for a month and a half.
And I was around for the whole season. So.
Right.
So,
and a lot of people say that like there was like an injury or two away from beating the Dodgers that year, and
well, a lot of things.
then we
happened.
could have been
Also,
like, oh look, Danny and I've seen them get a World Series ring. It's kind of like until 2007 or 2008, we were able to say, oh, we were alive for the '90 Super Bowl.
Right.
They beat the Dodgers like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, no, they
during
should
the
have beat them, and then just
some shit happened in the playoffs. I
Yeah,
know.
Dodgers just got
Mike
hot.
Scioscia hit a home run, and then obviously Hershiser, chopped his arm off and gave it away, and yet he threw his arm away for that World Series, and then was pitching 11 years later for the 1999 Mets.
Wilder.
Mercury Man. You forgot
Just
the
a
Mercury
wild
Man. He was a
career, that
Mercury
guy.
Man.
He was a Mercury Met, but he also almost died for that World Series. The 2006 Mets went 14-15 in September, so they were as good as this team currently is, and on that pace. And then they, I don't know what happened in September. I guess everybody got hurt.
Pitching. That's when the pitching started getting hurt.
Yeah.
What also happened is
we also won the division like 3 weeks before the season.
Okay, right. The division.
Fun fact.
The
Did we ever
was
tell you
wrapped
that
up
story? Danny was in
as the month was
college,
going
and
in.
he was like, "I gotta listen to Howie. Put it on the radio." And he called me, and I was like holding the phone by the radio.
Yeah.
I think I remember this, but I just want to.
So yeah, I was just kind of looking at it, and I found it interesting. Only 3 times in 60 years they won 100 games. The 2 World Series years, and also 88.
They won 100 games in 69. Oh wow!
Exactly 100. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they won 100 games, twice.
Really quick.
Ever, and the 86 team is the only team that went over 100.
The 2006, basically our MVP, Carlos Beltran hit 2 home runs, driven 4 runs in the month of September. So that might have been
foreshadowing Lindor, or are you foreshadowing Pete?
I like to bring that up because one, he tied the Met Club record.
Right.
He had 39 by August, and then just stopped hitting the last month of the season. And yeah,
right, because he didn't break the record. He only
Pete's
tied.
Pete's not gonna break his record this year.
No,
unless he goes ridiculously hot.
Listen, if you tell me that on a yearly basis I'm getting
30,
I agree.
30
and 120, I'll take that every year.
And him batting 270, I'll take it. Obviously, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying he brought it up. So
right, but he's been a significantly better all-around hitter. Definitely taking his walks this year.
And he hasn't missed a game, knock on wood, for rest.
No, I don't think so.
It's basically the DH. It's basically we're taking
Correct.
advantage of
Lindor either hasn't taken.
He only missed the one game when
injuries,
he slammed the finger in the door. Yeah, that was it.
Well, according to Howie today,
they both need days off.
Were talked about days off
today.
So he didn't, but Lindor talked his way into the lineup. But then Buck was apparently Howie was like, well, Buck's getting his way because Lindor got pulled for the ninth.
Yeah, 8th inning, big deal.
Yeah, he got pulled for the 8th inning the last time they had a blowout too.
But it also makes sense, get him out. You're an off day tomorrow. You got basically a day and a half off now to get ready for a big weekend series.
Like how he said, basically it was just go in the showers early and you're good to go. Right. See you on Friday.
So I was thinking about this yesterday because also proof how terrible of a shortstop franchise we've ever been. First ever. History with multiple 20 home run seasons, and it's only been 2 years.
Well, home run hitting shortstops in general are not.
That's more of a recent fad.
It's funny because we grew up with Ray doing it, so the shortstop even hitting a ball out of the infield was pretty amazing to us.
Well, it is impressive that he already tied Jose Reyes' season record of RBI.
It still has a month.
Correct.
It still has a month and a half. Listen, if I told you after last season, okay, let's face it was a bad year for him, right?
Right.
But if I told you the rest of the time as he's a Met that 250 to 260 20 to 30 homers and 100 plus RBIs every year. Maybe the last year it's a little off because of age at that point. Would you take it?
Yeah, but I would be mad about the average but I would understand how new baseball is.
So I agree. I would take it. I would be fine with it. I did. Even after last year, we probably asked the same question. We were like, if you get 250, 20, and 80 out of him, you're happy.
Right.
And I'm like, no. I guess I'm happy, but
we need
it's
more.
not right. I want the person they trade for once in my damn life. I want the person they traded for, and he's having a great season right now. But this is the person they traded for. His average is currently at 270 because of this recent hot streak. He's got 20 homers. He's on pace for almost 30. He's never driven in 100 runs, so he's on pace to have his most RBIs ever. He's on pace to score 100 runs or close to it.
Right.
I think he's got like 70.
The
runs.
stats are there.
Right. Like this is the guy they traded for.
Right.
Speaking of,
hopefully he maintains it and stays healthy.
Right. Well, he has been on a hot streak, and so
right.
But
so,
as to that, the schedule for September. Have you guys looked at this?
Looks pretty easy.
They start with the Dodgers September 1 at the end of a series. Then it's Washington, Pittsburgh, Miami, Cubs, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, OK series, and then Oakland, Miami. And then they end with a series with the Braves. That's like they have like 4 hard games in September.
We deserve it. It's okay.
Right. I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. James Santangelo on his retirement and hope he's enjoying Delaware.
Hey, Dad. He needs protection. Well, Pete's his protection on the lineup.
Yeah.
That's why he fits before Pete.
Correct. But Pete, they have created, to use the old school Moneyball phrase, we're recreating it in the aggregate of the 5th place hitter that we needed between my guy Danny Vogelbach and I guess Darren Ruff.
Like Evan Roberts said, it's basically an all-star hitter if you combine the two of them together.
Fucking love Danny Vogelbach.
Yeah, it's been fun so far.
Love him. Probably going to come back to earth a little bit eventually, but love him.
Yeah, but we're enjoying it while it lasts.
You want to talk about bullet? This is popping up on MLB Network. You want to talk about bullet dodge? Javi Baez is a .8 wins per replacement right now.
Oof.
I really
want. The guy in front of me yesterday had a Javi Baez shirt.
I really wanted to keep Javi Baez.
Yeah,
we all did.
Glad we didn't. He probably would be doing better if he was on the Mets.
Of course. But
Tigers thing.
You could tell he wasn't gelling with the team.
So here we go. David Lennon had it post, right?
Newsday? I don't know. They move around.
Mets DH spot pre-Vogelbach. 601 OPS, 29th in the majors, 206 batting average, 26th.
Is that
since the trade?
Wait, before you go any further, that is did he just pull that off of? I'm assuming he just pulled that off of the Mets DH, whatever the stats.
I'm gonna assume so. It doesn't say.
So that counts. So that counts Pete Lindor.
Yeah, counts anybody who's been a DH.
Correct, which is half the time Pete. Well, not half the time, but a good amount of the time Pete.
Twice a week.
And some Lindor, yeah.
Yeah. So since the trade was made, 974 OPS, second in the majors, and 328 batting average, which is first in the majors.
It's the
You know what? Again, I turned to my dad and said it. When they brought in the right-handed pitcher yesterday, and Ruff was up, we both looked down and was like, wait a minute, why is the big not coming up right now? And he left Ruff, who got a 2 RBI hit again.
Yesterday,
yeah.
Yes. I didn't watch. I was asleep at that point, but I watched the highlight, and there's a clip at the end of it that Gary's saying that Gary says that Ruff is better against righties than Vogelbach is against lefties. I'm assuming the Reds had a lefty ready in the bullpen, and they would have made that switch.
See, that's the one thing we're gonna have to.
Well, that was the switch that they made. They took Minor out to bring in a right-hander for Ruff.
Oh, okay. So that It was
So we thought that
they could have left
Mets were going to
Vogel.
make the switch.
Okay,
and
they
they could have
could have.
brought Vogelbach in.
Okay, I see what you're
But
saying.
the problem there would have been Vogelbach would have to play first base. Now, does he play first base? Because Pete was the DH last time.
He can, like he did at one point, but I don't think they want him to. It seems very clear to me they don't want him to.
Right.
Because
the only other option would have been pulling Pete out of the DH spot,
Right.
which would have made your pitchers hitting.
Like the other day, they had a choice in the doubleheader to play Pete at first base one of the games. And they played him at first in the first game where Vogelbach was DHing instead of the second game where it was Ruff's game because Max Fried was pitching.
Right. Okay, so that's
I don't think they want Vogelbach in the field at all.
So basically what you're saying, that's basically what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing it in this pace where
I think so.
If Pete's DH, it's either going to be it's rough. It's 90 I would say 95% chance it's rough at the plate.
I think so. Yeah. Do they have anybody? I'm trying to think. None of the other guys really play first base. So it would have to be, it's only going to be him.
Then goes back to our group chat conversation of those September call-ups.
Well,
those plays first place.
So I don't know.
Not a lot, but he's been playing it.
Correct. I think he's been playing it mostly because now Beatty get called up, so he's not going to be playing any third base. You only get 2 September call-ups. The roster rules are all different now because of the 26-man thing, and they had the expanded rosters in the beginning or whatever. I was looking at them before. So you only get 2 extra guys.
So
but
you
I
basically
also
have to save it for Peterson then.
Right, but I also don't think you need
and McGill. Figure McGill could be one of those guys too.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You don't.
But he's already on the everyday roster. You can take care, send a nobody down.
Well, he's on the 60-day IL.
He is. So you'd have to get rid of a 40-man guy. But I'm saying
there's got to be a trashy 40-man guy that they don't.
Yeah,
Lopez,
probably Lopez,
Mahita.
Yeah. I think also you don't need to, like it used to be, you need to be on the Major League roster by a certain date. And I don't know if that is like the rule anymore. Or you can
Jose Butto is on the and Sam Clay and John Curtis are all on the 40-man roster. They can one of those 3 guys could.
We all thought Vientos or maybe even Alvarez as I don't think it's going to happen. Whatever.
Listening to Evan and Carton last week with Epler.
Uh-huh.
Steve's been saying it. It doesn't sound like he's coming up this year unless some sort of catastrophe happens.
I agree. I think the only way you see him is injuries to both Nito and McCann. And I said this to my friend the other day. Minus the hitting aspect of it, Nito's called a good game. He's played well behind the plate.
Right.
For the most part.
He should be our backup catcher for the next decade.
I know they say
he should be the cheap backup catcher he should be the cheap guy behind Alvarez for the next decade. You're right.
But they say, I guess you have to do it. Calling out a game as a catcher to me is like it.
It is most important aspect of the game.
It's most important, but with the guys we have, Max is calling his own game. Jake is calling his own game. Cookie's calling his own game. Bassett
calls
for an hour is going to call his own game. He'll shake you off 14 times. So
that thing can vibrate like crazy in his head. He's going to be like, shut the fuck out, guy.
You were, I guess it was the game you were at though, Steve, right?
Which one?
The Bassett. Carrasco pitched, right? The Bassett game, they showed a clip where he's shaking off like McCann puts his glove in the outside corner and he shakes it off, and he moves to the inside corner and shook it off. And then he moved it up, and that's where he threw it. But it's like I've never seen anybody shake off location like that before. It was
it's like an MLB The Show when you're pitching and the guy
puts
his glove on the ground and you throw it up.
That's exactly what it was. It was very strange. So it's important because you want to be on the same page. You don't have to take an hour and have 14 mound visits or whatever. But they're all calling their own thing. It's I don't know.
My question is for the timer. Right? Because let's face it, that's coming, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about it, though.
I don't really know anything about it, but, there was an inning yesterday, and it may have been towards the end of the outing for Cookie, where he kept taking his hat off and adjusting his pitch com.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer until those are gone?
Well, they're gonna have to factor in that, I guess. I don't know what the rules are about.
Are they using that in the minor? Are they using the pitch com in all of minor league baseball though?
But can't I you tell me I can't step off? It's just a ball if I step off. I don't know. The rules are.
And what happens if I'm in motion and the batter calls time?
Well, there's rules about the batter too. Like they have to stay in the box. If they don't make contact, they can't leave the box. Basically, if you don't hit the ball, you have to stay in the box.
Right. Which you've noticed a lot of players they're figuring out ways around that. They've had that for a little bit now. They're keeping that like back foot toe in the back corner of the box and doing what they need to do.
I know, but like you have to be ready to like if you don't, it's a strike. Apparently, I don't know the rules completely. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Oh, the roster thing I did. This is just the last thing on it. I don't think they're gonna call up Vientos or any hitters because we were talking about one spot is gonna be from McGill, and like I think Drew Smith will be back eventually, right? I don't know what his injury situation is, but like I think
I haven't heard anything about him since they sent him
I
down.
know. So I don't know. Well, he's hurt.
Did they send him down or did they IL him?
He's injured. He hurt his lat or something. But then all the guys in the bullpen are pretty much there. Like,
well, you figure the guys that come out of the bullpen is Mahida, right?
I don't know if he can go back down again. We were talking about that the other day. I don't know if he can.
He may be out of options.
It's like it's not out of options, but you're only allowed to go up and down 5 times in a season now. They changed the rule.
So, but he's still the guy
that goes up and down. Yeah.
He's still the guy that's going to go down, and he's one of those guys you're not going to care if you lose him. Is it really going to be the world if he goes put on if they have to designate him for assignment?
Colin Holderman has his 3 shutout appearances as a Pirate,
and took 37 at bats for Juan Soto to hit a baseball in San Diego.
The Padres are a mess. Did you see they almost blew that game the other night?
Did you see they have like 1 win since the trade deadline?
The only win the other night. They were up 4-1. Soto hit a home run for the first run of the game. They were up 4-1. Hader gave up 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and then Machado hit a walk-off for them to actually win a game. But they're an absolute
since the
disaster.
trade. I don't know who actually said the quote, but somebody on that team said pitchers better look out for this lineup, and they've been batting like 130 since that.
They played the Dodgers the first weekend and got absolutely obliterated.
So
and now I think they're playing the Brewers. I don't remember. Yeah, they probably should
shut up.
At least wait till Tatis gets back to start talking more shit.
And when he just started taking batting practice, so you're looking at middle September at least.
I don't know. I think he started a rehab assignment, I think, the other day. But they're like almost out of the playoffs right now. Like I think they're a half a game up on the Brewers.
PointMLB.com. Oh, he doubles in a AAA game yesterday.
Yeah, okay. So he's coming. He's on his way back.
So he's just about back.
But he also hasn't had anything. Like he didn't have spring training. He had nothing. So it's going to take a little longer.
As of yesterday afternoon, he began his rehab assignment last weekend in AA, and now he's in the AAA. They were clinging to a 1-game lead with only 50 games remaining. So 49 games remaining now.
Yeah, not great.
And apparently when they asked Bob Melvin, he said August-ish. I wonder if he knows that it's like,
it's
middle
already
of August.
It's almost mid-August.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, today that was a double-digit August today was a surprise. That kind of hit me. I was like, oh, well, we're getting there.
So want to talk about the Yankees? They are slumping bad.
You know what? We were talking about, again, another thing we were talking about on the way. It's one of those things like...
They're going to snap out of it next week. Yeah, but they don't know how to. It was the most embarrassing.
You're literally...
It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard on Friday night. I was laughing. just having snacks and his cousin, who are equally stupid about the Yankees. It was the funniest thing, and I was just laughing. I was enjoying it. It was the craziest and dumbest thing. They were making it sound like the Yankees were the Pirates.
You're right, and
it's
they
like
are all
meltdown serious. It's meltdown season. It's insane.
But I honestly think if the same thing happened to us and the Mets were a 500 team for the second third of the season, I'd be a little worried.
Okay, but the way they were acting, it was just like, I know it's a little slump right now, but I'm not. Listen. I don't expect anything different. But it was. I was cackling at how bad, how nauseating they were. It was just like,
saying.
What are you guys watching? It was like
you've ran away with the division. That's all you gotta know. The division's over.
So, but that's the thing. You're 100% right to run away with the division. One, like I said, they're basically been a 500 team the second third of the season. And two, that's not a good thing. If they haven't played a meaningful baseball game since fucking May, they're going to get slaughtered when they get to the playoffs.
My theory
Jared Carabas, since hold on, June 24th, the Yankees are 19-23. The D-backs, Royals, Reds, and Cubs all have a better record than the Yankees in that span. Correct. They are objectively not a good baseball team.
Again, but you said June 23rd. That's like
24th, but yes.
24th. Okay, so we're basically at about 6 weeks of baseball.
Yeah, they're.
You know what also killed? You know what also killed the Yankees?
That's a staggering issue.
You know what else killed the fan base was? Oh, they lost again today. Oof.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, they lost today because
Nestor had a good game other than that one home run.
Everybody has pitched great. Nestor, I think you have 2 runs today.
Other than that one game with Cole.
I know, but Cole threw 7 shutout yesterday against Luis Castillo.
The bats are dead.
And nobody didn't score a run.
That's what people
Giancarlo Stanton is God.
More angry about. Castillo, 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts against them when that was the guy they needed.
But he also did that to them, basically.
The Yankees made the right moves in the trading. Other than trading Montgomery, they made the right moves.
Here's the key.
Also,
if they got Castillo, is he cutting his hair? Like, that's a factor when it comes to trading for these guys because they have these religious beliefs with their hair.
That's a religious belief because his hair is down to his...
I don't know if it is, but that's the second time Castillo shoved it down the throat because he did it at the Yankee Stadium list.
Third, he did it as a Red in one of his last starts.
Oh, you're right. Against the Reds, his last start as a Red. So they're
and that was his first game coming off an injury too.
Yeah, they're just getting destroyed by Luis Castillo.
I want them to play the Mariners in the playoffs. Let's go. Let's get Luis Castillo in the Bronx in the playoffs.
Right. They need to get Stanton back.
Rizzo needs to get back.
Listen, I said
it sucks that Carpenter got hurt for them, but Andujar is going to step in.
But it's a ballsy move to be struggling the way they have and then just make a trade and come out and say this is an October trade. Like we're trading for an injured guy.
Yeah,
because we don't think we're going because we don't think we're going to use this guy because he's fast and plays defense because we're not going to use this pitcher when
it is a pretty wild move.
Like it's kind of crazy. And I know, listen, there's no way they lose the division, and there's no way they don't get a bye because the Central stinks. So they're basically locked in 1 or 2.
And Evan said it. I think it was Monday. I heard him say it. The 2 seed isn't the worst spot for the Yankees because now you're going to end up playing the AL Central winner, somebody from the AL Central.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily.
Cleveland is the division leader, and they have 57 wins, so they're fine.
So, right at the moment, the AL leader, which is Cleveland, would play either Tampa or Baltimore, and then Seattle would play Toronto. So you're probably, to be honest, getting your AL East. You're getting your divisional.
If the season ended
opponent.
today, Baltimore would get in before Tampa Bay, even though they're tied.
So,
but tiebreaker.
As of today, this morning at 12 a.m. this came out. The Dodgers would be the 1 seed playing the 4 versus the 5. The Mets would be the 2 playing the winner of the 3 and the 6. Okay,
Is it the winner of the 3 and the 6, or does it reseed?
It's the winner of the 3 or the 6. It says number 2 seed New York Mets versus winner of 3 versus 6.
Okay.
Wild card race. Braves are the 4 seed, would play the Padres, who are the 5 seed right now. Cardinals are the 3, who are the central winner, the 3rd division winner, plays the least of the wild cards, which is the Phillies.
The Padres. All right.
Phillies.
At the current moment, I'm looking at it, it's the Padres. But
okay, so that could have changed during the day. Like I said, this came out last night. So the Astros would be the 1 playing the 4-5. The Yankees would be the 2 playing the 3-6. The 3 is the central winner, which Danny said Cleveland's
or
now
Minnesota.
there.
Yeah.
They're tied
Cleveland or Minnesota versus Tampa. And
or
then
Baltimore.
the 4 and 5 would be Toronto and Seattle at this time.
Correct.
So really, like,
but
you're
again,
playing
in that
Cleveland or the Twins, or you're playing the Rays, which of course to the Yankees, you play the Rays, they're gonna cry because
in that scenario, I think the East teams, all 4 of them, are better than the Central teams. So I think they come out of that series, and now you got to play Tampa, or you got to play Baltimore. I don't think they're gonna.
I can't see them making it, but I feel like somebody said it yesterday at the game, and I heard someone saying it. Baltimore is exciting to watch.
But they also traded their all-star closer and Trey Mancini.
Yeah, but they're also like they weren't thinking this year. That's why.
But they had a chance.
They're moving forward.
They had a chance to be thinking 2 weeks ago. Like, what did they get for Trey Mancini? Not a lot. The closer I get, like, I actually had value. I don't think they got a lot for Trey Mancini. I don't. Whatever assets you were going to get, I'd rather keep them. But that's just me.
Philly's got the tying run on second. In the 6th.
Yeah. But Alcantara's pitching, so that's going to be tough. The Yankees are destined to play the Astros in the ALCS. That's just what's going to happen. So
it's destiny.
But and that's what's hurting the Yankee fans. Game 7 in Houston.
Oh, that's on them.
That's what's going to bother the Yankee fans the most. Because
maybe you win a game in Houston and we don't have this issue.
Again, every Yankee fan's like, if you go back to 17 and you don't give them the trash can in Game 7 and the home field advantage.
Yeah, but they didn't score a run in Game 6 or 7. So
right, weren't they up 3-2 going back to Houston?
Yes.
Okay, so you had 2 opportunities to beat them. You didn't. Correct. That's on you. And guess what? Jordan Montgomery won't be there to pitch in Game 6 or 7 in Houston this year.
Well, I don't know why they made that trade. It didn't make any sense.
It's the mind. That needs to be the first 3 questions asked to Brian Cashman at the end of the year.
Well, it depends on how the year ends.
No matter how the year ends. Why is Jordan Montgomery not your number 2 starter next year? Why is Jordan Montgomery not your number 2 starter?
Right. Who is? What is interesting? And again,
the guy from Oakland, wasn't he?
Well, Danny brought up Jared Carrabis, and he has made this point multiple times, and he is partially trolling Yankee fans and his co-host Dallas Braden. But he's also correct. Frankie Montas stinks outside of Oakland. He has like a 4 ERA outside of the giant stadium that is Oakland.
Oh.
So, like, that's an issue. You're not trading for just this season. I'm going to pull it up.
In one game, he has an 18 ERA for the Yankees in 3 innings.
This season, he had a...
The guy pitched 1 game for the Yankees so far and made it through 3 innings.
He has a 2.36 ERA at home and a 6.11 ERA on the road.
Yeah,
that's like all his home starts are Oakland because he only pitched 1 game for the Yankees. That's like
trading. That's like trading for a hitter from Colorado who batted 380 in Colorado and batted 220 on the road.
It might be. I'm pulling up last year's stats. Last year it was more even, but this year it hasn't been.
I have a good question for you guys. Is Joey Votto a Hall of Fame baseball player?
No.
All very good.
Yeah. Wait, you know what? I don't know what it is.
You know, there was a sharp grounder to his side yesterday, and he dove for it, and it went like right under his glove and into the outfield. I forgot who hit it. And literally, I was just in my mind, I'm like, 5 years ago, that guy makes that play.
Probably. He is a one-time Gold Glover, and
Really?
it usually says how many, and it only has one Gold Glove here. 6-time
That's an
All-Star,
interesting.
and one MVP, which was in 2010. His Gold Glove was in 2011. He has 2 other top 5 MVP finishes, and then 3 more top 10 after that. It's closer than I thought.
You know that he still has 2 years, $45 million left on his contract.
Well,
also?
that's
he's definitely close, but he's not a layup.
I feel like it's gonna be. If he's, because he's gonna get good guy votes,
right,
to be on the ballot for a long time.
He had 36 homers last year.
It just would have been if they just made the playoffs a little bit more.
If they were better around him, yeah, they had their shot to be really good around him.
And the team doesn't want to pay, and that is what it is.
He has never won a playoff series.
No,
he's the Ken Griffey Jr. I looked it up the other day, is the 5th highest player on their payroll this year.
Right.
The Reds?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of those contracts. They lost I guess they got swept by the Phillies.
One of the years the Phillies went deep, they lost to them.
2010, they got swept by the Phillies. 2012,
Was 2012 the Phillies series year? No, right?
No. It was 09. 08.
No.
08 and 09 were the World Series.
Right. 2010 in the NLDS, the Reds lost to got swept by the Phillies.
Right, they lost to the Yankees.
2012, they lost in 5 games to the Giants. 2013, they lost the wild card game to the Pirates, and they lost 2 games. A 2-game series to the Braves because it was the 3-game series thing in 2020.
So minus the Pirates, they played everybody who went to the World Series.
No, the Phillies didn't go to the World Series.
2010. Because the Phillies were 2008 won, 2009 they lost to the Yankees, 2010 was the NLCS, and then 2000, and then the following year they lost in the NLDS.
Wasn't 2010 the year Holiday threw the no-hitter in the playoffs?
I think it was. I think it was 10.
I don't think so. I'm looking.
Playoff no hitter 2000.
Looks
October
like
6, 2020 will mark 10 years since the no hitter.
Yep, he lost.
2011 then.
Yeah, game. It was.
No, game 2010 NLDS game 1.
So that was that game.
It was it. Yeah, game 1. Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
Was that series?
It was that series, game 1 of that series, and then they lost.
One of those guys I hated to root for the Phillies, but you just had to root for that.
They lost 7-4. It looks like Chapman blew a game because he has the loss, and then Cole Hamels shut them out in game 3.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much.
But again, that Roy Halladay was just one of those players. Like when he went to the Phillies, you were so mad, but you still had to root for him.
Yeah, it was great. Also, we weren't. It's also
like how it was with Scherzer.
It's easier to root for guys like that when we aren't good, and we weren't for the most part of that time. Like I can more,
09, we still had hope. Okay.
Oh man, 09, like April 09, they were on a roll. Beltran was going to be the MVP. He was on fucking fire, and then they all of them got hurt. The entire roster got hurt.
The funny thing is, like looking back, 09 was that first year at Citi Field. The banners are back to where they originally were.
I know.
Yeah.
I
didn't even think about it until I saw
now.
a Jason Bay home run highlight.
Yeah, I know.
They're supposed to put it on the right field.
Upper deck in the right field.
Right, so across from the numbers.
Over thing.
No, they said like across from the numbers, basically.
Yeah. So you see, how the numbers are hanging.
Right.
They're gonna do a similar thing on the right field, but with the banners.
I don't know. Whatever.
whatever.
really like that.
We're like the Colts, and we'll have a banner for every year we make the playoffs.
The Colts have a banner for everything that made the playoffs. That's a lot of banners.
Okay,
What-
maybe AFC Championship finalist was one of them. I
That's
think they
tough.
had those.
That's tough.
Well, we have that too.
We do. Well, I mean,
we have
okay.
the 2016 NL wild
Get the
card.
2016 banner down, please. That's my. If I
And they have 99. They have 99. 99
90
doesn't
times
really-
at least, that's basically a American AFC championship competitor, whatever the hell you said. It is, but at least they won a
AFC
playoff series that year.
Yeah. It's bad.
I remember
Oh,
I was
God.
playing basketball in the backyard with Jason, and my dad went nuts, and the side door wasn't open, so we had to run through the front door to find out what happened.
Why wouldn't you
when
just
Todd
have
hit
your
the-
dad open the door? in the sliding
Because he
door?
was yelling.
If Steve Cohen tweets out again, what we want from Met fans? I'm gonna say take down the 2016.
Anything that wasn't a World Series championship down.
No, the 2015
No,
one.
no,
and the
national. Yeah, the national.
the
National
national-
League pennant. Anything
Right.
that's got a flag on the Coca-Cola thing that we keep. How about
So
that?
you're getting rid of
No,
88.
and
No,
we'll do division titles.
division banners can stay too. Yeah, so 88 stays
And 06.
and 06 stays.
How many flags are on the Coca-Cola corner?
Should be 5. No,
You've been to the World
6.
Series 5 times.
So yeah, 3 and
So they have all the pennant flags hanging.
yes,
Yeah.
it's 3 and 2.
Listen, the one thing
69,
will say-
73, 86, 2000.
we're talking about flags, and I was talking about this with Dwight and his brother on Friday. I love the Yankee Stadium standing flags. The fact that they change them every day with the standings over the thing,
Sure,
I like that. I was always a big fan of that.
it's all right.
Now, a little transition here. Since it is
Wait, can I
training
ask a trivia question? A
Sure.
dumb trivia question, really quick. How many times? Did I ask you this, guys, already? How many times do you think Carlos Delgado was an All-Star?
day. It was a little number. The number wasn't really high.
Yeah, it was shockingly low.
It was like 3, 4.
it's one.
Really?
One time?
And it
How?
was as a Met.
I'm sorry, it's 2. 2000 and 2003. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Neither one was a Met? He
No.
wasn't an All-Star in 2006?
He was never an All-Star as a Met.
No, oddly.
I need to rewatch
He
this
has
TikTok I sent you, Vin.
1, 2, 3, 4 top 4 MVP finishes. Top 10 MVP finishes and 2 All-Star games. Who was the first baseman in the American League that just kept taking his spot? McGuire? No, he was in the National League. I don't. Unbelievable. Truly doesn't make any sense. The disrespect on Carlos Delgado's name is unbelievable.
Where is the TikTok that I sent you, Vin, that had the random Mets that made an All-Star team? So, did you guys watch Hard Knocks yet? I watched it today when I came home.
I did watch it, and
I haven't.
Can we go over their coaching staff
I
for a
love
minute?
I love the coaching staff. I love this
They're
crazy.
still going to be 4 and 13.
They're gonna be
No,
dead.
I don't care what their record is.
This might be
so-
one of my favorite seasons of Hard Knocks. I'll be completely
Okay,
honest.
so they have Dan Campbell as the head coach, okay? Ready? Deuce Stanley is their running back coach.
Wow, you finally left Philly, huh?
Okay. JT Barrett's their
I
offensive
remember that
assistant.
one. Mark
Mark
Burnell.
Look at
Burnell is their quarterback coach.
It's pretty wild.
This guy Hank Fraley played in the league for a long
Yeah,
time
I
too.
remember that.
He was a lineman on the Antoine
Wait,
Randall.
Randall L?
That's the crazy one.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn is their
Aaron
defensive
Glenn.
coordinator.
Yeah, he was the DC for Houston.
Right. So I mean, Danny, when you watch the episode, Aaron Glenn and Deuce Staley steal the show.
They go
That's
at
what I
each
heard.
other. They're like fighting.
Absolutely
That's what I heard.
insane. Jamal Williams is also going to be a very popular person in the show.
Calvin Shepard was a
'Cause he's
linebacker
just
for a while.
Awesome.
Yeah, for the G-men.
He was a Bill. too.
Crying in the. It's cool, but it's
It's a lot. You're right. They're turning it up. The thing about it is, I think all the crazy things that he's going to say, Dan Campbell is legit. Like, he's just a crazy person.
I
who's
kind of almost ran through my wall.
He's not
when I-
playing
when,
as
you
much
know,
to the
like that,
camera as
opening
everybody
speech,
else does. I don't.
He's a
think.
clown.
When
You don't
he
like
had that
Dan Campbell?
No, he's
When
an
he had
absolute
his-
clown.
opening speech in the
Wow.
episode, I almost ran through my wall. I was like,
Danny.
I'm ready to go. Let's go.
That's a take.
I'm gonna rewatch that speech before every podcast. for the whole
There's
season.
no more of a football guy than that dude.
Yeah, he is, but whatever.
Listen,
Is
they're
there-
still gonna fucking stink.
Yeah,
I will say this.
Imagine doing all that for them to still be
Right,
4-13. I'm sorry.
To win 4 games instead of 3.
I'm gonna say this. As a
They'll
Michigan
finish
fan.
third place because the Bears are so atrocious.
And they're trading
Okay.
Roquan Smith.
Too much Adrian Hutchinson with the
Well,
family
you
and
had to
the
expect that.
no,
Yeah,
like
no, it was the
I
perfect
expected
amount of-
on the field stuff, but like sitting with him, talking to his family about
Yeah,
how
it's the
great it
first
is
overall
that he's playing for
Fine,
Detroit.
What else are they going to be
Right.
talking
Well, it's
about?
the first overall pick who's playing for his hometown team. That I was fine with all that with Hutch.
And then
And then
him
They made him
getting
sing,
confused by the
Lord.
guy from Kentucky, from Memphis, and the ice bath and the.
Yeah, who was that? Penei Sewell?
No,
I don't know who that guy was.
The guy went to Memphis. Nobody knows who he was.
Yeah, but he's like from Nigeria. He said he just like came to America and went to college. I've never heard of this man in my life. I need to know more about him.
He's undrafted. He's the. You know who that is? That's the
That's the guy you're gonna care
undrafted
about?
free agent.
I don't know.
That's going to be who's going to play a factor until they cut him in the
Right.
third episode.
I don't know what who they thought, or if it was like what they were doing it on purpose because they were trying to like create, I don't know, mystery or something. They just kept showing people the first like 10 minutes of the episode, but didn't put their names. I was like, you're the Lions. You have to tell me who you are. I don't know who any of you.
They had
I know
one
Goff,
guy who
I
had
know
some-
Hutch, and that's it.
They had one guy who had some crazy eyes, and I'm like, I want
I don't
Oh
know
my-
what's
some
going on.
wacky crazy eyes. It looked like Steve Buscemi from Mr. Deeds just
It's
sitting in the crowd, like
Again, if you're not Goff or Jamal Williams because you were on the Packers, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry.
I guarantee one of them was Swift. Wouldn't know him from a hole in the wall.
No idea.
Brett
Amon-Ra-
Brady's first
Amon-Ra
AAA
St.
hit was a
Brown?
single to center.
Good receiver. Don't know what you look like. Sorry, bro.
Joe DeMeo retweeted 2 minutes ago. Batty's first base hit up the middle.
Love it. Keep it going. I have
Listen, he can make the jump. He could be this year's Conforto from
Danny,
2015. The
I have a
double A guy we
question.
call him.
for
Vincent, I have an answer, hopefully.
you. Steve, you can kind of jump in on this
Jeez,
too.
thanks.
Okay, no, the only reason is Danny listens to the most talk radio of all of us here, I think. But you've been driving a lot lately,
Yeah.
so maybe you've been listening to talk radio. Do Jet fans think the Jets are going to be good?
Yes.
That's a scary thing because I only caught the end of that clip where they said Beningo was coming back, and he said
Well,
that 6 wins
you
is
could
not
only
good.
you could only use so much radio show money to play golf. So
I know, but he said to Evan, 6 wins is not good enough for this team.
Well, Joe says that every year, though.
I know he does. He can't be serious, and the rest of them can't be serious, right?
Well, they're expecting the huge year 2 out
Jump.
of Sack. I was about to say Sam.
Sam.
Sack.
we're getting another Sam Darnold
Um,
year 2. Well, they're about to trade for Sam Darnold because they can't figure out who to start in.
I mean,
And then the young
That'd
wide
be-
receivers, hopefully they stay healthy. Their offensive line is good, other than unfortunately Becton's hurt again. But they're gonna get Dwayne Brown.
This would have been year 3 for him, right?
Becton?
Becton?
Yes, same year as Andrew Thomas.
Okay, so this would have been year 3. Okay.
correct. But
And I've already spoken to Devin, so he's ideally a lock for the preview show. So I'm gonna ask him this one again when we're doing the show. But are you considering that a first round bust at this point, based on how much he's actually played?
It's looking that way, but it's
Yes.
not over.
You can't pick up the option at the end of the year because this is the
No.
year after year 3 is usually the holdout year for your option.
Holdout, yeah.
You
he's
hold out
obviously-
so they pick up the option if they're on the fence about it, and
no,
then going
well, no,
into
you get 4 year. You get year 4.
your 4-year signed
four
with a
is-
5th-year option.
Right.
Usually,
year
after
4
your
is-
3rd year is the year they start thinking
No,
about. They start
it's-
talking about holding
start
out.
talking
they don't-
about it, but year 4 is when they do it. The off
Right.
season is when they do it.
but
But usually after year 3 is when you pick it up, so you know you have 2 years. Some teams do. Like usually the quarterbacks usually get it.
well, they
you
get
know.
the extension. They
Right.
don't. Yeah,
correct.
Well, it depends on the guy.
if you're
You know,
good
if you're on
enough,
the fence
you're
about
getting
them,
the
it's usually you pick
Right.
up the option.
But usually now it's the extension because they're not want to be in cap
They're not gonna
hell.
play.
and-
Right, because the last year of that thing is crazy.
Except for, I guess, what's his face? Kirk Cousins was the only one.
Oh well,
I
they
don't even
fucking.
remember. It's been so long since
they.
Kirk
Oh, that's
Cousins
my
didn't have
point.
a,
They tagged him. He was
No,
making
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well,
whatever
he
fucking-
couldn't have gotten the first round because he was
right
but
because
they
he was a
tagged
third
him.
round
He
pick, but
was
they
like a third
tagged
or
him
fourth
to
round
give
pick,
him
yeah.
crazy money.
They tagged him like 3 times.
Yeah, that was crazy.
well, that's why they
the
moved
Jets.
it down to you're only allowed
Okay.
to take guys twice.
But the Jets' start of the season is actually really insane. So if
Okay.
they find a way to tread water, their second half of this year could get to 6 wins.
again.
My theory is on the Jets is
What?
the Bills are going to run away with the division again.
Sure.
Right.
Barring any issue or any
Sure, yeah.
injuries or anything like that.
Well,
of
we'll
course.
see how they do. Have the offensive coordinators, whatever.
It's Ken Dorsey.
I
They're
know,
good.
but like he
It's
doesn't.
going to be the same offense as
Right,
last
it's not they. Right, it's what's his face is running the thing.
Ken Dorsey's running the
No,
offense.
who's the coach? McDermott, right?
McDermott, but he's a
Yeah.
defensive guy. So.
Okay, so whatever. Ken Dorsey's in charge. Go Ken Dorsey.
Remember we talked about this? The greatest.
Greatest. He was basically. When you look at the guys he had to play with on that team, he basically had to be a coordinator and a coach. That's a wild locker. He was like, I got to deal with Greg Olson. Guys are nuts.
Greg Olson was the craziest guy in the whole locker room. What are you talking about?
I know, but
He didn't play with Olsen.
no, he didn't play with Olson. You're right. Olsen
He was
bad.
I think it was Kellen Winslow. Wasn't it
Kellen
the
Winslow.
Was
It
Shockey,
was-
Kellen Winslow.
Proving my point, Shockey and Kellen Winslow. McGahee. Well, McGahee never really did anything.
Well, because his knee exploded in the
yeah, but his
No,
knee
I'm saying-
exploded in
meant
the championship
He
game.
didn't do anything crazy. I meant like he wasn't like one of the. McGahee had a good NFL career.
Speaking of that, Frank Gore got arrested.
Did he
Wow,
really?
what a turn of events on one of the greatest
Right.
humans of all time, huh?
Yeah, it was
Damn it.
domestic and apparently, allegedly pulled a naked woman by the hair down a hallway in her hotel room in AC. So, moral of the story is don't go to AC.
Moral of
So
the
this is-
story
this
is,
is what-
when you've
so
been
Danny,
hitting
we
the
were-
head as much as Frank Gore, you're gonna have some problems.
Holy moly!
Wow.
Who hit that ball?
Was that Dansby or was that Austin Riley?
That's Grinsom.
Oh, that's
he's-
his first home run. then.
it's the kid. They just called him up.
He hit a bomb over the monster.
Well, the Red Sox stink. You can't even help us out a little bit. Fucking Red Sox. Unbelievable.
Wow, he just skipped Ron Washington right there. He just jumped right
How
by
do
him.
you of all the people, Wash?
Kind of fucked up. Going back to that Hurricanes team, it was Najee Davenport,
Yeah.
No, we're
Frank
talking about
Gore,
that, not
Andre
Davenport.
Johnson,
Okay.
Willis McGahee, Portis was on the offense,
Ed Reed
Right,
on
yeah.
defense.
Shockey,
Again,
Intro
Kellen
role.
Winslow,
Ag-
Sean Hall, Sean Taylor, Vilma.
Intro.
I'm basing
And
my entire thing about the Jets is this 2-minute clip of what Beningo said. He literally said they have to beat the Ravens week 1. Are you joking? You're not
No.
beating the Ravens week 1.
Well, no, that's just him
What?
having to get the
Honestly,
season
what
going.
are the Ravens though?
They're better than the Jets. They won 7 games last year with no quarterback. And
And now they only have a quarterback.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying they were a 500 team without their quarterback for half of the season, and they lost 2 games on 2-point conversions and let's play the game. That's an
Well,
11-win team.
Yeah,
like that. Like that.
What's his face was stupid a bunch of times last year.
They're right back to an 11-win team in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm
So
with you.
I'm
waiting for his contract. to happen.
I hope the Jet fans don't think they're gonna actually be good. Watchable, sure.
No, they're
Good.
definitely going to be better, but yeah.
They have an opportunity. Oh,
I
no.
think
even
7
Miami's
wins.
gotten better.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
No,
Yes, but no.
They still have a shitty quarterback, but I think
He's the worst.
who do you trust more? Because this is my problem when it comes to the keepers.
I told you this.
Who do
I
you
trust
trust more, Drew
Okay.
Lock or Tua?
because Drew Lock is actually the worst, but Tua is bad. You can't.
I
Because-
think I'm gonna keep Hill because I think he's fast enough to come back for the balls that Tua can't reach him on.
DK has Drew Lock and also Tyler Lockett to compete with. I
And
don't-
also, and Geno Smith is right now ranked as number 1
Who's
quarterback
the
on that team.
Number 2 receiver on the Dolphins. I'm sure it's a decent.
The
person.
kid from Bama,
Waddle.
Waddle. He had
Okay.
100+ receptions last year.
He's fine. They just
He's
gave
fine.
Tyreek. He gave Tyreek a lot of money. He's gonna get the ball.
They're both going to be good. And they got the running game going. They're gonna have the running game going.
I think Miami's going to be the better team.
They have a whole stable.
They do have
See,
like four guys.
The advantage I have is I have that last pick of the first round. So ideally, I can keep Tyreek with my first round pick, and then just take whatever best player available on the board at that point.
I haven't even thought that far.
Well, you have till Monday.
Did you put your keepers in?
No, I put my keepers in.
Oh, okay. Who'd you keep?
Cooper Kupp, obviously.
Right, makes sense. So was that fourth round?
Yes. And then I was going back and forth between Harris from New England, 6th round pick.
Okay.
Or Montgomery.
From Bears?
The Bears. I went Montgomery.
Because
the whole Belichick scared me off. Obviously, he doesn't care about fantasy. And everybody's talking up Stevenson.
Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson.
They're like literally talking him up. So I'm like, yeah.
You know what that means?
Harris is going to go off.
I know.
Harris is going off for the first month.
And Matt Patricia is their offensive coordinator with Joe Judge as their second OC. So I'm going to step away from that.
I had the same issue.
So what you're saying is McCorkle Jones is going to be running the ball on 4th and 12.
Yeah. I had the same issue.
It was right in front of our faces. Something we will never miss. Forget in our lives.
Keeping Eli Mitchell from the Niners, and I'm
Elijah.
like, if Shanahan's, what am I going to do? I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just.
You're losing your last round, so that's
I know
fine.
that was the thing. It was the last round pick, so I was like,
I was also debating
doing
J.K. Dobbins as my last round.
You had him?
Yeah, I picked him up knowing I put him on IR last year.
Okay.
So that's a debate.
It's possible. What is he up to?
I don't know. I haven't even
because I had the same thing. I had picked up Cam Akers at the end of the season, and it's like he's a little more back than I think Dobbins is. Obviously, he played the Super Bowl, but
right.
I'm definitely keeping Pittman Jr. in my
he's gonna go off this year with Matty Ice.
Actually, quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's gonna plug the box to take out Taylor.
He's going to be throwing, and they're going to be receiving against a lot of.
I'm intrigued to see who keeps a quarterback this year. Obviously, the top 3 guys are going to be kept.
That's the other thing. I could keep Kyler in the 5th, but until October, he's going to be good till October, and then Call of Duty comes out, and his contract, he's not going to be good.
I think I could still change it because we set. When do we set the thing? The 14th.
It says it's Monday the 15th, but I don't know if that means like Sunday night at midnight it locks.
I think it's Sunday night at midnight. I drafted Joe Burrow in the 14th round last year, and I was like, why don't I just keep Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't.
I think I've been honestly debating it, but the only reason I didn't was because I was the one who was talking shit, saying it's dumb to keep a quarterback. But now it would be
in the 14th round.
I know.
A lot difference than
it would be smart to just take my top 5 quarterback in the 14th round. I might get rid of because I'm keeping Justin Jefferson right now in the 2nd round, which is. Right. It's fine. But I also have the 2nd pick. I could just pick Justin Jefferson again.
It says deadline date Monday, August 15th, 2022.
So I assume Monday night it ends, and then Tuesday it'll lock in.
Lock everything.
I don't know. I might change that.
Vin's going to be sitting at his computer all day Sunday, just clicking both of them back and forth. Who do I want? Who do I want? Who do I want?
Well, I'm going away this weekend, so I have to figure it out by Friday.
You're going to Delaware, right?
No, I'm going to my sister's, actually.
Oh,
Delaware
okay.
is Labor Day weekend I'm going, I think.
Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. The other one I was thinking about keeping in the 8th round was Cortland Sutton.
Fantasy football now.
Cortland Sutton. Has Russell throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
A lot better than Drew Lock throwing him.
I hate
Russell. What's his face? The third of our wide receivers out for the year. So.
One of them tore his ACL.
Tim Patrick, yeah.
Tim Patrick, there we go. I knew
they have
2 first names.
I don't want to say the wrong one, but I think they have Judy. Yeah, Judy.
Judy, yes.
Yeah, Judy.
It's Judy, KJ.
Remember, he got all upset when Rodgers re-signed, and then an hour later they traded for Russell, and he had a smiley face on his Twitter.
The Raider dude was from Bama, wasn't he too? Right?
Yes.
Right. I was confusing them.
Henry, right? Is that what his name was? Ruggs. Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs. Yeah. See, didn't want to confuse the two. Judy, good. not an asshole.
That we know of.
You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. But
that we know of.
Seems like a nice guy.
Seems like a pretty decent human.
The complete opposite.
Broncos Nation, let's ride.
Let's ride. Russell
Broncos
Wilson,
The old like
terrible human.
Did you guys see that? Like all like the college football, like the shitty teams are all like having their quarterbacks do it. Like North Dakota State.
Yeah, everybody's doing it. Yeah, it's catching on like wildfire.
Such a loser. I can't stand that dude.
You're just jealous of his wife.
I honestly couldn't care less. He's just such a hardo, and I hate him.
Are we doing on our next show? We're going to do over-unders for the year instead of instead of the preview show. We'll do that at our next show.
Sure.
Okay. We'll do a little over-unders there.
Do we really need a preview show? The Giants are going to suck, and the Jets are going to suck, and the
Packers
Danny, how win the division.
Really quick, Danny, how was the Giants thing?
It was fine.
Okay.
Wasn't
Not great.
really good. The offense, like honestly, they gave up a sack on almost every single play offensively.
Did they give up a practice sack, or would they have given up a real sack?
It would have been real sacks.
Okay, got it.
And then they let Daniel Jones or whoever the quarterback was and finish the play. Offensively, they just looked like they were not in sync, and it looked like they were just able to check down on a couple things. I wasn't really excited, but
is it a line issue or is it a Daniel Jones issue?
So I was sitting with Justin and other people that were at the event, so it was a lot of fun. And we're really interested to see what happens when they play other real defenses other than Martindale's just I'm blitzing you on every single play and I don't care what happens kind of thing, and more vanilla, let's see what happens kind of thing for us to really be worried about it yet. So it's practice. Is it? I'm excited for the season watching that. Absolutely not. But I know we got a couple more weeks to figure it out. But yeah, I'm just not excited offensively for the year to start. So hopefully they figure out the system before the real game starts. So that's about it. Then defensively, they look, hopefully with the blitzing and everything, they're good. I'm worried about
aggressive is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm worried about the secondary depth. All we need is one injury in the secondary, and the secondary is back to being really shitty. So that's going to be a big problem.
Got it.
So, yeah.
MP6 pitcher power rankings has Jake as number 1. Like,
did you watch the game Sunday? He's
throwing
96-mile-an-hour sliders.
And the FanFest tailgate was pretty good.
Cool. Well, sorry, I was more asking about hanging out with
it was really cool.
It
was really fucking hot. Yeah, it was really
okay. Yeah, it was gross.
But it was cool hanging out with Snacks. I met Clem finally for the first time.
Love Clem. Shout out Clem.
Yeah, Snacks is a mayor. He knows literally everyone. It's really funny. Who else? I officially met Jordan Ronan, even though we met him at the Landon Collins event, and then a bunch of other bloggers and content creators. So it was pretty cool. Then we sat with Justin and Bobby, and Snacks was Snacks. Me and Snacks and his cousins and his brother, we waited. And it was really funny. The fireworks, they waited 45 minutes for the fireworks, and I saw my GPS was under an hour. And I was like, I've seen enough fireworks in my life too.
Oh yeah, you get that kind of traffic, you get the hell out.
Yeah, so it was fun. It's a fun time.
So
I'm excited for the regular season.
Funny, the WFAN guys were at camp Monday, I think it was, Danny.
Right.
All day.
Yes.
And they talked a bunch. I did listen. I heard a little Tiki Turney.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of them too.
And how Tiki gave a speech, and WFAN finally posted the video.
Yeah, like a day late, yeah.
And I find it hilarious that Tiki goes to the team and goes, "You know what makes you a hero in New York? Winning."
Yeah. Well, He didn't win the championship, but he did win with us. So he was our team before he left. Then debatable if whether he really quit, which he kind of did. But
You announced it
He
in
was
October.
done.
That's quitting.
Yeah,
It's quitting to me.
Why did
But-
he
Yeah.
retire?
He
October
just
of
didn't want to
06.
play. Yeah, he just didn't want to play, and the story leaked
Sure,
out.
but it was more of the story
Yeah,
about
he didn't
wasn't
like
it his
Coughlin.
wife at the time. He was cheating on her, and
No, that was like way after.
You didn't like Coughlin?
You
no, he
hated
did not.
Coughlin.
He didn't like. He
Coughlin
did
saved
not
his
get.
fucking job.
Yeah, he hated Coughlin.
They never got along.
Yeah,
Okay, so
He was always a fossil guy.
okay,
was
but
a
he's
fossil
still
guy.
that just means he's a bitch.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
Strahan hated him
Strahan
too,
hated him too,
and they figured it
Yeah.
out.
right. He
yeah,
said
he just
didn't
skipped
want to
training
play.
camp 1 year, and next thing you know,
Right.
they were best friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it anymore. It sucked that he did it. He talked to someone, and he thought it
And
was
it
off
leaked.
the record, and it leaked out, and then it was
See,
in October, and that was it.
I blame Strahan because it's very clear that like Strahan sat out, and then they had a conversation. He was like, "You got to calm down," and then Coughlin calmed down, and then he should have just came back after that. He should have pulled a Gronk and was like, "All right, I'm back."
No, well,
You
he
mean
was
like in
definitely coming
October
back.
when
He
Gronk
was-
is in Tampa
No, I'm
signing a
saying
contract?
Tiki. Like,
Yeah,
He-
he didn't want to. That was it.
Whatever.
At what point in the year do we get a Susie Gronk moment where like they're showing a Tampa game on NBC and what's his name goes nuts because Gronk is standing there in the owner's box signing a contract to come back to play for
George Steinbrenner's box. I honestly, if you're, the story got a little. I don't think it got underrated because people did talk about it at the beginning. Brady just got rid of Bruce Arians because he doesn't like him. Like Brady's just in charge. So
like
if
Kevin Durant.
I mean, we didn't
Like
even
Kevin
go into
Durant,
the.
right.
I'm sorry, but the Kevin Durant Kyrie thing in Brooklyn makes me so happy. Like the team, like it makes me feel so much better about every team I root for.
But if in week 12, whoever their tight end is gets hurt, and Brady's just like, jackass, come on down, and like I need somebody to throw the ball to. Mike Evans is, and
But
triple
honestly,
covered.
he was so shot last year.
Oh, he
And
can't
also-
move.
And also, didn't Cage tear his ACL today? Russell Gage.
I didn't.
Did he?
Yeah. What his
Um,
name is? Russell Gage.
yeah, Russell Gage is on their team. Gronk, he turned into a blocking tight end.
Well,
Like,
they
he was
also
just
have
manhandling people.
Julio now. as long
They
as
do
he's
have
there.
Julio now. Yes,
That's basically
that's basically Gronk.
So the report was that Gage took a step, grabbed his leg, went to the ground.
see you later.
It sounds no non-contact injury.
So they're
it
waiting.
sounds.
They're waiting to hear. But then they also had the center went down also today.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
No, he went down today.
He went down again.
He went down again today.
Hmm.
They were doing a joint practice with the Dolphins because they're playing each other, of course.
Can't happen to a better group of guys. I'll tell you that.
Started off the practice field was wearsome. Oh no, Jensen was the one that got the knee
Right.
injury that you're thinking of. Hainsley's the backup.
Oh, so
He's
they're
supposed to-
down to the third string center.
But Hainsley they say is going to be okay. Gage is
Good luck trying to block Kenny Clark with a backup center.
yeah. That's
All
it.
right. That's it. We can.
Oh shit, 3-3. This
Why-
guy's still throwing.
You know why? They just throw this man's arm off.
They're like, hey, we got like 2.5 years till we have to trade you, so we don't have to pay you. So we're
Yeah.
just gonna pitch you 20 innings a game.
Honestly,
Go.
if I were him, he throws 7-8 innings every day. I would just stop. I'd be like, all right, I'm done. Donnie boy, take me out. Unbelievable.
No way, he's still managing Miami next year, right?
He shouldn't have been managing them now. They had a mutiny in the middle of the season because nobody likes Jazz Chisholm. I don't know how Mattingly still has a job. I can't say this enough that he got outmanaged by Terry Collins, and I think that's all I need to say.
I mean, He had 2 Cy Young Awards winners going against
And
us. That
lost.
I mean, that's because one of them is Nut Job and Zach Greinke.
Yeah,
But Mattingly did outsmart us because we were up 2-1, and he was like, "Hey, Kershaw, you're much better and a lot saner, so you go pitch Game 4 and shut them down. At least get me to Game 5."
It wasn't the pitcher's fault that they lost.
No, they just didn't.
No,
They could.
Kershaw didn't pitch game 4. Kershaw pitched
he
game
did.
3.
No,
No, he didn't. He pitched game
because we
games
won
2.
game.
Oh,
we
I
won
went to
three.
game 4. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. We won Game 3. It was their non-Kershaw.
Right. That's right. That was little.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was at game 4. That's right.
That needs to be checked. That guy was out by a block and a half.
He might have been. Love that Brandon Marsh beard. All right.
That's some crazy hair.
Love him.
Oh, here's a good question with the stupid count that we were talking about earlier. What's going to happen to Lindor's oven mitts?
What do you mean?
That shit alone takes 10 minutes to put both them oven mitts on every time he gets
Well, he
on base.
can't put them both on. Like, he's so close every time he gets double. Every time he hits a double, he's so close to asking the shortstop to help him put his glove on because he can't do it himself.
Right, because they're both waiting. They're all 3 of them are just the 2 of them, the first base coach and the second baseman, are all just standing there.
Well, he can't because of the broken finger that he slammed in a door. He wears 2, and he can't put them both on. It's oven mitts.
But how come he could take them off so easily?
Because he bites the Velcro and rips it. You can't put Velcro
So
on.
I'll do one of these things.
I don't know. It's just, he hasn't been able to figure it out yet. He was honestly, there was one time where he spent an entire at bat trying to put it on. They just kept showing it. He just kept trying to put it on. And I think they were playing the Phillies. I was like, he's just gonna ask like fucking Didi to help him put it on because he just can't figure it out right now. He's having a tough time of it.
Schwarber's just clapping. He's just
Love
bored standing on first base.
Anyway.
All right, boys. Anything else?
No.
That's it.
Guy is out at third. Call overturned. 2 outs.
Shout out the Marlins.
Shout out. This is why he pitches 99,000 pitches a game.
He's very good, but he's not pitching great right now.
So no better outing out of Noah. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs.
I can't wait to. I really want to face Noah and just beat the shit out of him. All right, that's it for today.
That's the game we should do the home run day. Just everyone homers that
right.
day. It's in Philly. I mean, it's not.
We're putting all power line up at. I want Vogelbach playing left field. Like I don't care. I just want the power hitters. Call up
that's the
Vientos
game. Nito's hitting that home run.
Right.
That's the game.
One of them's got to hit a home run.
Oh, we need a moment. Who could come back from injury in Philly next week? We need our 2015 David.
Dom Smith. We'll never see him again. But I'm still waiting on Dom Smith home run.
Listen, the biggest thing when it comes to mentioning that name, if we see him at this point, there's a bigger problem.
Correct. There's
with the way Beatty and Vientos is hitting and both being on the 40-man roster. If we see Dom Smith before one of them, there's a problem.
Because if God forbid Vogelbach gets hurt, Dom's the next person.
He's the next left. Well, Beatty's left-handed. I
know, but he's not. I don't think he's on the 40-man roster yet.
He is.
Okay, well, that's not happening.
Beatty and Vientos are the only 2 on the 40-man roster.
That's not happening. All right.
Nothing else, boys. Don't forget, subscribe, follow us, love us.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks.